Hi guys, I wanted to talk about healing because I had this happen. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and I feel that what happened was the person was starting to heal. The narcissist gets wind of that, and boom, they're trying to get in their life and wrestle it up any way they can. So they didn't destroy you. The smearing didn't destroy you. The flying monkeys didn't destroy you. What they did to you didn't destroy you. And here you are thriving, and they get wind of that. Well, your healing is their nightmare. It's the narcissist's nightmare. And the minute they get wind that you're doing fabulous, we talk a lot about seeing their pictures online and they're looking happy and blah, 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 blah. Whether you have someone or not, I don't do the online thing very much. Like my whole life on there, oh, no, not at all. That's not my thing. That's not what I do. But some people do. If you are one of those people that do that, and no judgment, I just don't, but if you are, nothing stops you from putting a beautiful picture of yourself, smelling a flower. It doesn't have to be with a person. Like they're posting pictures of a person, you feel like you can post with a person. Who cares you have a person? You just show a radiant, joyful life. That's gonna bother them. They wanted to break you. They wanted to break you. Break. If I thought I could break that pencil, I would do that, but I don't want to make a fool of myself. They wanted to break us. And when you sit upright and they see you in life and you're bouncing along joyful and you're doing great at your job and you're going out with friends and you're with your lovely family that they know you have, that bothers them. It's so sad to me. I feel so bad for the narcissist people who are bothered by someone else's happiness. That's gotta be a really stinky place to be. And I know I made videos before and feel bad for the narcissist. I often do. I feel like that must be very hard for them, because a person that looks at you and is bothered by your happiness, that can only be from jealousy. What other reason would you be unhappy at someone else's happiness? I don't care if my enemies are happy. I want health and happiness for everybody, and in love if that's what you want. I want that for everybody. I don't get mad if somebody else is, a narcissist is going to get unnerved if you're healing. That is their nightmare. They really, 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 really want you to wallow. Pine over them. And once you're not wallowing, they can't believe it. And that's the voice that you hear get angry when you're not talking to them anymore. You've instituted no contact. You're not answering the Hoover. Those days come for many of us. Some of you are still into the thick of it. But let me tell you something. If you do get over the hump and you are on the other side, they can't believe it. I had a couple once. The guy could not accept that she wouldn't talk to him. I don't understand. What do you mean? What do you mean? We were together for years. What do you mean? She's had enough. Well, what does that mean? I'll never talk to her again? No. And they never did. This was years ago. Somebody I was counseling that years ago. And the girl did a 180. You have a line in the sand, right? And a lot of times what we do with these narcissists is we keep changing and pushing the line in the sand out. And we keep accepting more, putting up with more, dealing with more, showing them that we'll handle that, right? So we keep pushing that line out into the sand. Once you stop and you get to the point that you're not going to push it anymore and you're done, they don't know how to handle that, because they always could get you back. They always said something that made you come back. They always said something that made you try again, decide you want to go to therapy, talk for hours and hours, cry, scream, beg, plead, bargain, bribe, all of it. We go through all of it, and they do too, trying to hang on. When you let go and you don't do anything and you're not trying anything and you don't want to try anything and you're not interested in talking anymore and you don't even care what they have to say, they can't believe that. And that throws them. I just want you to understand that, because when you're not wallowing and they see that and then you're happy and then that makes them jealous that you're happy, they're going to try to destroy you still with the smearing and the flying monkeys that I talked to this week is the most common way, because if they're no longer in your life, they can't do anything to you. If they're not in your space, they can't triangulate you. They can't gaslight you. They can't talk mean to you. You're not spending time with them. But they can certainly smear you to other people behind your back. Keep that up. They could do that for years and years and years. Every time your name comes up, they might have something negative to say about you. And if somebody's happiness bothers another, that's the only reason I think that would happen. They can't take blame for the relationship, but say you're not a person to talk about the relationship, so they don't even have to defend themselves. To me, that's somebody who just can't stand seeing another person happy. And I think that's a very unhealthy place to be for them. That's when I feel bad for the narcissist. Because I just think that that's a really sad place for them to be, that they would be so jealous or mad that somebody else might have a happy life. So leave the other person alone. Let them have a happy life. Go on and bother somebody else. They're not bothering you. Meaning old supply narcissists, they're not bothering you. They've moved on, so you move on. Nope. Oftentimes they'll continue with a phone call or the smearing or the stop by or the drive by or reaching out through social media. The narcissist is trying to get back in that door. I know somebody for whom it was like in the form of an email. I know somebody for whom it was in the form of friend requests on social after they've already been blocked and rejected or denied. Any of those, they keep happening. They'll keep trying. They can't believe you're done with them. They can't believe anybody would ever be done with them. Remember, they think they're fabulous and entitled to behave the way that they did, and that you should just understand their position and why they behave that way. Well, I'm perfectly willing to always listen to someone's side and hear their side. But when somebody flat out, again, just take talking behind someone's back, that was the topic this week. That to me is awful. I don't do that. So there are relationships in my life where people might wonder, why don't you two talk, or why don't you two talk? I don't speak of it. If somebody wants to ask me, I'll tell them, but I'm not out here smearing the person, giving my side ahead of time so they believe me. I don't play that. I'm not doing that. I'm close to people, I'm close with my family and friends, and I gotta just think that the people I've been loyal to for 20, 30, 50 years, at this point, at age 55, I hope I've weeded out the ones that I can't trust. I hope. And you might be still doing that. You might be learning right now, I don't like the way that person handled that. And the narcissist will use people that were in your circle to help try to break you. They'll contact your cousin to make her call you. He's really upset. He wants you to call him. I'm thinking he's sorry. He really loves you. He had me on the phone for 2 hours crying. And now you're feeling bad, and it's coming from someone you love and trust. So now you start to think, could it be? Hello. And then they might call you a name because you took too long to get them back. And that's all they wanted, was to hear it. They are shocked when you show growth, healing, happiness, peace, zen, a good chi, a nice life. And I always say I live a happy, quiet, simple, little, fabulous life. I don't bother anybody. I make it fabulous by the people I choose and the things that I do, but it's nothing, extra. It's just my happy, quiet, simple, little, fabulous life. But it bothers some people when you have a happy, quiet, simple, little, fabulous life. And they'll do everything they can to destroy you in every possible way that they can think of. And they'll get creative. And I'm so, so sorry for that. There are people on the earth that are not good. I don't think that's a good way to behave. There's nothing you can sell me that would ever be a good way to behave. The person that they're doing that with didn't ask. They sought them out and brought the conversation up. They made sure bad things came up so they could say bad things about you. They steered the conversation there so they could get out their point that they wanted to get to your flying monkey. So now they're off doing that, and you're happy and healing and fine, and you've moved on. And moved on doesn't necessarily mean you're with somebody else. I'm a very happy person. I'm not with anybody. But I've certainly moved on from any of the dysfunction that's been in my life, toxic, narcissist, any of the people that were triggers, and I'm quite happy. I think that bothers some people. I know it does in my life. I know. And why? You say, why? Some people are just jealous. They don't want others to be happy if they can't be happy themselves. Or they think you wronged them in their minds, so you should suffer. You shouldn't have you've wronged me. People need to know how you wronged me. You don't deserve to have the happy life and the love around you bestowed upon you that you're getting. So let me smash it. Isn't that awful? I know. It sounds really bad, but I know I'm speaking very, very carefully right now because I'm not trying to get specific, but I'm telling you this happens. All I'm telling you is this happens over and over again. And I feel that when the narcissist goal is to break you and they can't believe that you're healing and they didn't break you, they just don't like it. I just wanted you aware. If you need help, you guys know I'm private coaching now, so please reach out. Thanks. You guys have a good weekend.